Islam, their satisfaction is fleeting, overshadowed by a constant quest for more recognition and approval. Islam, their thoughts they're somewhere else. They're double-minded, seeking praise that may never come, or that holds no true value once they are gone. Here for a second, go on the next second. Islam, this restless pursuit for validation disrupts their peace, their inner peace, even beyond the grave. You can think after you pass the world. On the soul plane, you still can think. Islam, you still could be disturbed. Praise Allah. The Quran, most of the time America said, let's not be naive here. We shall be wise after we pass. Islam, the comparison to a man who binds his wife to widowhood so that his soul remains undisturbed is poignant. It highlights the futility of seeking praise after death. Who seeks praise? How unstable is this mindset? Expecting that it will somehow bring comfort or joy to one's departed soul. This is an illusion. Holy Quran Mosai Temple of America teaches about the Lord's self. And those who know where the Lord's self know the illusions of the world. This is a deception. For the dead cannot be comforted by the praise of the living. Happy holy day to the Lord. Islam, do well while
Islam, boy, happy holy day.
But regard not what is said of it, content thyself with deserving praise, and thy posterity shall rejoice in hearing it. These words encourage the Moors to focus on merit of your actions rather than recognition we may or may not receive. Give love and demand love, and not expect love in return. Genuine deeds of kindness and integrity will echo through generations to come. Your great works will precede you. Islam, praise Allah, bringing true honor to your legacy. Islam, just as the butterfly cannot see his own colors and the jasmine cannot smell his own scent, a person who flaunts their outward appearance and achievements for the world to see often misses the deeper joy of inner fulfillment. They're trying too hard. Islam, they're trying to be seen. The butterfly is just colorful. It's natural. The butterfly didn't put colors on and come outside and said, look at me. It's the natural flow of things. The man who questions the purpose of his gold vessel and dainty tables, if no one gazes upon them, is missing the true essence of generosity and selflessness. Love to peace, freedom, and justice. Praise Allah. Give thy raiment to the naked and thy food unto the hungry, so shalt thou be praised. And feel that thou deserve it. True merit and praise come not from flaunting wealth and status, but from acts of kindness and generosity. When we give selflessly, we find a deeper satisfaction that is not reliant on the gaze or approval of others, but rooted in the joy of helping those in need. Sincere, be grateful to do so. Back to James 1:8 reminds us of the instability that comes from a divided heart and a divided mind. Islam, the double-minded man, a divided heart mind. A double-minded person is pulled in different directions, seeking validation from the world while ignoring the inner call. Islam, to genuine virtue, stability, and true contentment come from aligning your actions with your values, love, truth, freedom, and justice. Seeking merit not in outward appearances, but in the integrity of your own deeds. Islam, now as I yield on this holy day, praise Allah. Happy to be here. Let's reflect on Holy Quran and Most High Mercy and his teaching. Prophet no among us the words and instructions from our Father God Allah. In order for us to hear what Allah has to say, he has to manifest in the physical so we can hear him. Anything else is too infinite for our finite minds to understand it. This is simple. So strive to be the butterfly, unaware of his own beauty, and the jasmine spreading his fragrance without self-awareness of his own smell. Let your actions speak of your true character. Actions speak louder than words. We know this. Islam. And let us find contentment in deserving praise, not in seeking it, deserving it. Islam, by focusing on genuine, sincere, merit, and selfish acts, we align ourselves with a higher purpose and create a legacy that will be honored by our posterity and future generations to come. Islam, 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 praise Allah inside the holy day. Islam all over the world.
Allahu Akbar.
Islam. And I yield the floor to our sister, A-Dot missionary. Mayat, praise Allah.
Islam.
Islam, boys, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest.
Allah is the greatest.
That's right. Islam, boys, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest.
Allah is the greatest.
That's right. Islam, boys, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. And Noble Drew Ali is his prophet. Islam.
Islam. Happy Holy Day, Moors.
Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day. I am so glad to be here. So grateful. Praise Allah. First and foremost, I'm going to give my honors. I give all praises to the great God Allah. I give honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to the forerunner, Marcus Garvey. I give honors to Supreme Grand Sheikh, E. Neely L. I give honors to the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish National and Divine Movement, which the Moorish Science Temple of America is under the umbrella of the movement. Because we are a movement, moving succinctly.
Come on.
In unity. We don't need everybody. We need those who are unified and like-minded. Islam, it's always been a small group who've done the most work. Islam, and anyway, our prophet said everybody not going to be saved. He said he could count them on his hand.
That's right.
What he said.
That's right.
I wasn't there.
That's right.
It seemed like his prophecy is true.
Islam.
I give honors to Temple 2 in Carbondale, Illinois. I give honors to our Grand Governor, Arnil Bay.
Islam.
I give honors to Governess Islam. Happy Holy Day.
Islam.
I give honors to Governess. I give to Grand Sheikh, Brother E.
Can you mute her? You gotta mute her. We got her. She's muted.
Okay. I give honors again. I'm going to say it again because I want it to be heard globally.
Islam. That's right.
To my brother Sheikh, E. Bryce Bay, our Grand Sheikh, who's doing a wonderful job. I give honors to our chairman, Brother A. Griffin L. And we are all nobles. Let's say that for the record.
Islam. That's right.
Islam. I give honors to all the sheiks and missionaries. I give honors to our brother Maurice Pennington Bay and his co-hosts on their beautiful podcast. I've listened to the podcast twice. I had so much other. I wanted to listen to more of your podcast, but I had to go read some things. Okay, I had some stuff I had to do. Grant Governors was like, "Could you please put up your chapter 11?" And Grant Governors, I promise you, I was having issues with my Word, Microsoft Word. I still haven't done it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because first I was just trying to type it up. that didn't work. But I'm going to put it up there. Islam.
That's why I'm trying to.
Anytime I'm open, if you need to ask me something, don't ask my neighbor. Islam, come to me.
Come on. I know that song.
You know, I break out in song, but I'm trying to be dignified. Islam. But I love music. Music and geometry is the fight of life. Okay? That goes hand in hand. Islam. I give honors to all of our national treasures. I give honors to the Moorish flag that is over 10,000 years old, the flag of our descent. I give honors to the Star Spangled Banner, which is the commerce banner that we are able to do business under. I give honors to the Charter, which we're also able to do business under, Islamism.
Mm-hmm.
I give honors to everyone under the sound of my voice. I give honors to, I don't want to miss anyone. Everything that is Moorish, that should take care of everything. Okay, I'm going to give you my topic. My topic for tonight is, without money, you could die. Islam. I have 2 questions. Brothers and sisters, princes and princesses, emperors and empresses. Because in the Moorish paradigm, we have emperors and empresses. We don't have kings and queens. Islam. Let's put that all out there for the rest, okay? We are emperors or empresses. I, for myself, am a princess because I just keep it real within me. Okay, I'm a princess. I'm an empress as well, but I am a princess because I know that I'm in the line of royalty. Islam, that is in my blood. That's in my DNA. Royalty. We are all nobles. We have to bring up and raise our mindsets. Islam. So I have 2 questions. Okay? The first question is, and please do not consider at this moment whether you're rich in money or poor in money. Okay? The question is, what would you do if you had 2 billion bars of gold, euros, pesos, Bitcoin, a high number? Okay? I ask myself this same question. So contemplate your frame. I ask myself this question. It's a personal question. You don't have to share it with anyone. You can if you want. But this is the question that I pose to you all tonight. What would you do if you had 2 billion bars of gold? Okay? The next question is, how are you using the power of the pen to correct your record? Islam.
Islam, you teaching.
Islam, happy holy day. Happy holy day.
Islam, happy holy day. You asking great questions. Great questions. Islam.
Hear me talking? Hello? Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Islam.
Happy holy day. Happy holy day. Islam. Happy holy day.
And so, as Mary, we read out of our holy book when we are in front of a group of Moors. And so I'll be reading out of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, circled 7, okay, with the 4 gates, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. I'll be going to chapter 37, the holy unity of the rich and the poor. Islam. So I'm starting at chapter 1. The man to whom Allah has given riches and blessed with a mind to employ them aright is peculiarly favored and highly distinguished. He looked on his wealth with pleasure because it afforded him the means to do good. He protects the poor that are injured. He suffereth not the mighty to oppress the weak. He seeketh out objects of compassion. He inquireth into their wants. He relieved them with judgments and without ostentation. He assisted and rewarded merit. He encouraged ingenuity and liberally promotes every useful design. He carried his own great works. His country is enriched, and the labor is employed. He forms new schemes, and the arts receive improvement. Praise Allah. He considers the superfluities of his table as belonging to the poor of his neighborhood, and he defrauded them not. Now, recall that the first ayat said that Allah gives the riches, and he blesses one with a mind to employ. So it would be the epitome of one who's been blessed with riches by Allah, how he would employ his gold. Islam. So we're going to go over to the next type of soul that Allah could want to, shall, and will bless. So let's read ayat 14. Oh, but what are the miseries of poverty in comparison with the gnawings of this man's heart? Let the poor man comfort himself. Yes, rejoice, for he hath many reasons. He sit down to his morsel in peace. His table is not crowded with flatterers and devourers. He is not embarrassed with a train of dependents, nor teased with the clamors of solicitations. Debarred from the days of the rich, he escapeth also their diseases. The bread that he eats is not sweet to his taste. The water he drinks is not pleasant to his thirst. Yes, far more delicious water than the richest draughts of the luxurious. His labor preserveth his health and procureth him a repose to which the downy man of sloth is a stranger. He limits his desire with humility, and the calm of contentment is sweeter to his soul than all the acquirements of wealth and grandeur. Islam. So in this chapter, we are faced with, we have examples of two roads that can be traveled. However you deem money or currency to be in your life, because certainly money is a necessity, but also it's an energy, it's a currency. I don't know, I'm from Chicago, we used to call it the currency exchange. That's what we would do, we go to the currency exchange. Now they got the ATM, they have, you going to the check cash place. No, we called it, when I was growing up, the currency exchange. Understand me? See, that's right. Old school. And that's why our prophet told us to go back to the mindset of your ancient forefathers and foremothers. Because I'm telling you, this new wave stuff is just like a microwave. That's right. You pop popcorn, it's lying. You can get lost and turned out. I know y'all know I'm in a song, I got these songs popped up. But anyway, praise the Lord. Happy holiday. Anyway,
Happy holiday.
money is the energy, right? right? And it's just as alive as you breathe in and out of your nostrils. Islam. So I'm going to also go ahead and give you all the other example of someone who has, because Allah, just like He has the sunshine on the good and evil, Allah gives to who He wants. He gives. He's very generous. Islam. So let's look at His generosity and what this other soul has done in August in ayat 8 to 13. The benevolence of His mind is not checked by his fortune. Oh no, excuse me. Ayat 9. But woe unto him that heapeth up wealth in abundance, and rejoice alone in the possession thereof, that grind the face of the poor, and consider not the sweat of their brow. He drive an oppression without feeling. The ruin of his brother disturbs him not. His heart with the love of wealth, no grief or distress can make impression upon it. But the curse of iniquity pursueth him. He live in continual fear. The anxiety of his mind and the rapacious desires of his own soul take vengeance upon him for the calamities he has brought upon others. Islam. And so, brothers and sisters, I wanted to share with you, I'm going to read some passages from one of the books that I'm reading. The name of this book is The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a complete original edition by author George S. Clason. I don't know if you can see that. George S. Clason. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the fourth law of gold, because there's laws to what we call currency. There's laws to gold. Islam. Gold slippeth away from the man who invested in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. So the fourth law of gold is, to the man who has gold yet is not skilled in its handling, many uses for it appear most profitable. Too often these are fraught with danger of loss, and then properly analyzed by wise men show small possibility of profit. Therefore, the inexperienced owner of gold, who trusts to his own judgment and invests it in business or purposes with which he is not familiar, too often finds his judgment imperfect and pays with his treasures for his inexperience. Wise indeed is he who invests his treasures under the advice of men skilled in the ways of gold. Islam.
Islam, you teaching. Listen, Morris.
And so, usually when I come before you, Morris, I'm giving you what I have experienced and learned. Okay. So there was a time I had invested in Bitcoin, and I lost my retirement savings. I was so mad. I was crying, and I was praying. I was asking Allah, please help me.
Listen, Morris. Listen.
Allah, He helped me, but I had to suffer the consequences because I had invested in something that I didn't know nothing about. I was leaning on other people to tell me how to do it. Of course, I know how to do it now to a certain extent, but I have more wisdom now when I'm going into any type of investment or anything like that. I think and I look at what is it I know about this and what do I need to learn on my own. Because like we know, man knows not by being told, by experience.
That's right.
So
Be
when
what
you
you know,
invest
Mo.
in your gold, your treasures, make sure that you don't invest with unwise and get scams. There's a lot of scams going on, Morris, We don't want to get scammed.
Listen, Morris. Listen.
Anyone? Okay. So in conclusion, and I thank you all for your attention, I'm going to read the last passage of chapter 37, ayat 22. Let not the rich, therefore, presume on his riches, nor the poor in his poverty yield to despondence. In other words, if you poor, or if you want to consider yourself poor, because man, as a man thinketh, so is he. Don't be depressed.
That's right.
But
come on.
Islam, for the providence of Allah dispenses happiness to them both. Islam, happy holy day.
Islam, happy holy day.
Happy holy day. Praise God. Of course, Ken. And now I came in truth. I came in truth, and I believe in love and peace. And I yield the floor back to our chairman, A. Griffin L.
Islam. Beautiful, sis. Thank you. Islam.
Islam, sis. Praise Allah. Brother 2. And now you're the floor to our second speaker, our sister Kay Faye. Islam, happy holy day.
Islam, Morris, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. That's right. Islam, Morris, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. Islam, praise Allah indeed. Islam, Morris, last time, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. And Noble Drew Ali is his prophet. Our sister look like she ready to put on for the team, y'all. Islam, praise Allah.
Happy holy day. Praise Allah.
Happy holy day.
All right. Give praise to Allah. Give honors to the prophet for bringing us out of the dying creed and salvation. Give honors to all the Moorish leaders that paved the way and kept the doors open. Give honors to all honors that was given. I'll prepare my stuff, so let me see. I really worked on this since the sister lashed us. You know, I said, let me make sure I come correct. So I'm gonna put up. Can you see my screen?
I can. Jesus in the wilderness.
Yeah. So okay, this is where I'm going with this. So they say when you pray for some, and it was so crazy. I be talking to myself and building with myself when I don't got no more to build with. And they say iron sharpens iron. So I was telling myself last night, I said, okay, I started getting on a podcast with Pennington Bay and Ferdinand, Brother Ferdinand. And so I said to myself, like, man, this right. Like, I got to be ready because I catch it towards the end and I got to rewatch it. So I said to myself, I'm going to sleep early. I'm going to be ready. I'm catching it from the beginning. And I said, man, I've been saying I wanted to fix my divine ministry. Like, I wanted to become a better speaker and to actually dive into this ministry since I work with so many people. So I went to my first class, what's it called? I'm trying to think. I can't think of the name off the top, but I had looked up these classes I was told to look up, so I went to my first class. And when I got there, I really didn't say much. I just pretty much resisted. And then when they called on me, they said, hey, you want to say something? You want to tell us something about yourself? I was a little shy at first, so all I said was, hey, I'm Tiana Jackson Bay, and I'm Moorish American. That's the only thing could come out. So, but I made sure I wanted them to know who I was. So after taking some lessons, it just made me feel good to do that. So I said when I got home last night, I said, man, I pray I can get the tools I need to be a better speaker, to give a better delivery, to dive into this ministry. And then before I went to sleep, I said, dang, I better be careful what I pray for, because it ain't going to come like that. You know, when you pray for strength, he gives you something to be strong about. When you pray for money, he makes sure you can manage that money, show you how it is to
Come on,
lose
come on. Let us know
everything
the
you put,
mindset
you
of
know,
Allah. Mindset of Allah. That's
so,
right.
you know, when I woke up, the call, they went into saying, you know, law governs all things. And they was like, you got to prepare yourself for your assignment. So I was saying to myself, like, Allah gave me signs that I'm on the right way. You know, I'm on the right path. I'm doing good. Keep doing good, because the podcast kind of hit on some of the things that I have been praying for and I have been seeking. And so, you know, I'm grateful that the brothers let me get on a podcast and speak. You know, I felt good afterwards when I looked back on it. So I said sometimes it takes for you to go into your soul and self-examine your soul so that, you know, you can become a better person. You can't take people with you everywhere you want to go. Sometimes you got to do it alone. So that's why I go with this chapter. And it's Jesus goes to the wilderness for self-examination, where he remains 40 days, is subject to 3 temptations he overcomes, returns to the camps of Nine, and begins teaching. And it says the harbinger had paved the way. The logos have been introduced to men as love made manifest. I'm sorry, I have to pause my other phone. And it says, and he must now begin his divine ministry. And he went forth into the wilderness to be alone with Allah, that he might look into his heart and know its strengths and worthiness. And he himself, with himself he talked. He said, my Lord's self is strong. By many times I'm bound down to carnal life. Have I the strength to overcome and give my life over?
What a sacrifice. Wow.
Yeah. And when I hear that chapter, it just makes me think, am I strong enough to be that willing sacrifice? And, you know, I took into myself, you know, we all have higher self, lower self, we know that. But we also know, you know, Allah is the best of planners, and he always make a way out of no way for us. So with that, I'm forever grateful. So I just ask for strength to continue on my journey, you know, to keep being the message that I bring, and to keep doing this work that, you know, is not an easy work that we're all out here doing. So even in a podcast, it was saying we got to map out our own space. So it just gives me confirmation I'm doing the right thing. So I just wanted to also give others that same confirmation. You know, you speak it into existence, it's already done. But we got to make sure we still be doing that work to keep it done, to keep it going. And so, let me go to my next thing. So I said I was going to study. And so when I studied, I came with this. This is the right one. So I'm coming from the Ethiopian Bible and the 88 books. Can you hear me, Morris?
Ethiopian Bible. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. Orthodox Christianity, I hear you. Islam.
Yeah, you know.
Tyrone, sister Tyrone. God.
Okay, so the prophet said the Bible was ours, and we know it's many forms of Bible: the Holy Bible, the Ethiopian Bible, the Torah. So I bought an Ethiopian Bible to start, you know, studying that, because I wanted to sharpen myself. So my first demo I was going with today, after reading the Ethiopian Bible, I switched it up because, you know, we were talking about justice on a podcast. And so in his Bible is the prayer of Sariah, and I thought it was they walk around in the midst of the flames, singing hymns to God and blessing the Lord. Then Azariah stood still in the fire and prayed out loud. Blessed are you, O Lord God of our ancestors, and worthy of praise, and glorious in your name forever. For you are just in all you have done. All your works are true, and your ways right, and all your judgments are true. You have executed true judgment in all that have brought upon us and upon Jerusalem, the holy city of our ancestors. By a true judgment you have brought all this upon us because of our sins. For he who hath sinned and broken your laws and turning away from you in all matters, we have sinned grievously. We have not obeyed your commandments. We have not kept them or done what you have commanded us for our own good. For all that you have brought upon us and all that you have done to us, you have done by a true judgment. You have handed us over to our enemies, lawless and hateful rebels, and to an unjust king, the most wicked in all the world. And now we cannot open our mouths. We, your servants who worship you, bear shame and reproach. For your name's sake, do not give us up forever, and do not annul your covenant. Do not withdraw your mercy from us for the sake of Abraham, your beloved, and for the sake of Isaac, your servant, and Israel, your holy one, to whom you promised to multiply their descendants like the stars of heaven and like the sand on the shore of sea. For we, O Lord, have become fewer than any other nation, and are brought low to this day in all the world because of sin. And I just want to say this one more time, so see if it resonates with us. It says, I lost my space. Okay, let me find it. Let me see. I'm finding it, y'all. It says, to whom you promised to multiply their descendants like the stars of heaven. Wait, I lost my place, y'all. Give me 1 second. Oh, it says, for we, O Lord, have become fewer than any other nation, and are brought low this day in all the world because of our sins. That reminds me of the Moors. Like we was once big in numbers, and now we down to the few. And we got to think about it. We can't even open our mouth to praise him because we have so much shame on ourselves. So that's justice to me. You know, when I hear that, I think about the justice and what we going through. So sometimes, you know, even at our lowest, he still have mercy on us. He still have grace in us. So we got to remember that. We got to keep on toiling. We got to keep on being out here, being a message that we bring. We got to bring our numbers up. As people see us, they will multiply. As they see us doing good and being a message we bring, we're going to multiply. Because one thing, God never forsake us. And I think that's what we always forget. Even when we do him the lowest and treat him the dirtiest, he always punish us. You know, that's justice. But he always give us a way out, just like we debase ourselves. So, you know, being with y'all is definitely a pleasure. It's definitely been a pleasure. You know, some of us have our good days, we have our bad days, but being around Moors that genuinely love you, that's there to see you grow, to help you grow to be a better you, so you can help somebody else be a better them. You don't get genuine people like that around you. So that, you know, brought me to that prayer of that I read. And so I just want to thank the Moors for continuing to do the work. And, you know, we're going to get it done.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to yield.
Swan, thank you for your service and your work.
Yes.
At this time now, podcast sound fire, Mark. Okay.
It's on fire. Holy zeal, holy zeal. Praise Allah indeed.
Let's call on our brother Ferdinand, Islam.
With the babies, with the family, man, woman, and child. Islam, who's the greatest? Allah's the greatest. Islam, boys, who's the greatest? Allah's the greatest. Islam, who's the greatest, boys? Allah's the greatest. That's right. Noble Drew Ali is his prophet. Islam.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Brother Ferdinand, you got the floor, man.
Oh. Islam, boys. How y'all doing today? I wasn't planning to speak, but I very so appreciate having the floor. Was there did you want me to do some reading or?
That's on your high, boy. Islam.
Praise God. I'm very thankful to be here. First of all, I was invited by Brother Bay, and I am getting close to my 1-year anniversary of proclaiming my nationality.
Praise Allah.
And I haven't been in the temple for a while, and Brother Bay, he's privy to why that is, and if anybody needs to know, please feel free to talk to him. I think he can explain it better than me.
That's right. Send them directly to him. That's right.
Yep, bro. That's my spokesperson.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm happy to be here. For a long time, I've been alone in this journey of uplifting fallen humanity. We're talking about quite a few years where I've been consulting and leading people throughout the entire world. I've got quite a few hours logged in my consulting services on my website, and I've been dealing with just about every problem you could think of. From parenting issues to health to wealth, and obviously knowledge itself as well. And I've been very blessed to find the answers and be able to relay them in love and in truth and in peace, freedom, and justice, as well as maturity, accountability, responsibility, humility, and sacrifice. And to achieve that, I had to go through some things. I had to walk this path alone. I had to live with the enemy.
Come on.
I had to achieve a lot of different things under duress and without support. And for a long time, the sister Kay Bay, she came on and she said I think she wrote in the comment, it's not a why me, right? I don't remember how she finished, but I definitely remember it's not why me. What you say, brother?
I said, don't ask why you, ask why not. Why not?
And see, and I resonated with that because my saying has been, I think it's somebody else's saying, but it's not a why me. How about you try me, right? And every time I've done that, I was challenged, and sometimes I was ready for the challenge, sometimes I wasn't. But I'm one of those individuals who I've been blessed with a lot of strength, so I lean into challenges. It don't even matter how hard they are. I like challenges. They help me grow. I like growth, and and I started to understand why all of this has happened. There's a certain level of leadership that I've been called to walk in. There's a heavy road that we have to walk in the years to come, spiritually, mentally, and physically. I mean, it's a heavy road that we have to walk. Our children are about to compete with robots for jobs. The food is poisoned.
Listen, silent wars. Listen.
It doesn't really matter which way we look at this. Every which way, shape, and form of our environment, it is they're trying to control it. There's only so much they really can do. So what they do is try to hypnotize you to believe that they have full control, and they don't. We have to give them control, you know. So that only can really happen if we don't have that understanding and that practice of operating in that higher self, taming that lower self, right? And that takes time, it takes practice, but it also takes us living a certain type of way. You know, one of the things that I love about coming to the temple,
Tell it.
One of the things I really love about it is positivity and suggestion. I'm a full-fledged believer in the law of suggestion. And when you have a group of people consistently talking about love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, but then they go into different measures using various different doctrines. And in those doctrines, maybe they read a measure out of there. And each of those measures have positive words, positive affirmations, affirmations of life, affirmations of elevating the chi. All of those things work on a person. And over time, even if it might be a short period of time, might be a longer period of time, they start to move differently. Behavior changes because of suggestion, you know? So I pay very close attention to that, but I go deep in suggestion. You know, this is like the surface level I'm talking about right now. I'm paying attention to shapes, symbols. I'm paying attention to every single thought that I have and every single thought that you have and every single thought that he have and she have and all of them. And everybody got thoughts, but I'm paying attention to everybody's thoughts. One of the things, one of my gifts, and I don't tell everybody this because, you know, some people might try to put you in a psych ward when you tell them this. But one of my gifts is I can do what Charles Xavier did in the movie. I do that without Cerebro, and it can be a gift and a curse. Well, I'm very blessed to have it, and I've learned how to harness that, you know, in a better strength. And I've also learned how to harness it in a better strength because of the path that I've been called to walk. And you don't necessarily have to walk this path in righteousness. You get a choice. But I chose to walk in righteousness.
You said a mouthful.
It's always about choice. You know, that's the thing about self. We gotta, you know, we learned a lot from, I hope I'm not talking too long.
You're fine, More. That's right.
It's long for the
Guys want to make sure, because, you know, I know there's an order to things.
It's time for the Ferdinand. This E-Rex thing. What exactly is it that Charles Xavier do in the movie?
So Charles Xavier was the leader of the X-Men, and his gift was being able to see thoughts and control them. Now, there's a heavy price to pay for controlling thoughts. A heavy, heavy price to pay for that. And unfortunately, the European is already walking the path of seeing what that price is when you walk that path. There's a thing called dominant and recessive genes. I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. There is a time period where certain people will not be here anymore. And that is the price of wielding this power in wickedness and a lack of righteousness. Moving down a path of lack, limitation, chaos, and disaster. And this is the European education. Hopefully everybody got it and they don't got to keep getting it. And we can go ahead and move on to the next level. But these are things that I've learned in my walk. You know, I pay very, very close attention to my actions, my words, and my deeds. Because I understand that everything is full circle. It's full cycle. You know, so if I get up today and I do some dirt, well, eventually I gotta sleep in that bed with that dirt. There might be some worms. There might be a couple of ants or something. Might be some spiders. You know, but I gotta live in the reality that I did that. Now, there's a lot of people who don't think that way. They don't operate that way. And then what happens is when it comes all the way around, because it took so long to come around, they think somebody else did it to them.
Islam, could I get a clarification? You say you control thoughts or Europeans were controlling thoughts. Let me. I'm just trying to get a clarification, my brother.
All right, well, I'll give you something to lock it in. I'll give you something to lock it in real good. When you think about hypnotism, it's happening every time you pull that phone out. It's happening every time you pull that tablet out. It's happening every time you turn that TV on. Watch any program on television, and about 7 minutes into that program, you're going to have about 3 minutes worth of commercials. Those commercials are literally built to be hypnotic suggestions of the strongest caliber to get you to move differently, right? Well, the only move they want you to make is this one, but it's hypnotic. Well, what are they doing? They are, let's say that they're not controlling thoughts. Let's say they're influencing them. And they're influencing them in a way of wickedness, right? So we could say that I control thoughts, or we could say that I influence them. Let's just say that whatever Charles Xavier could do, if you choose to look him up, that's one of my abilities. I have many gifts, and these gifts come as a result of walking that path alone. You know, along that path, I've read so many books, and the book that I've read the most is called The Akash. And as I have read those books, as I have come to know myself, well, I was able to pull what my ancestry was amazing at, and harness that ability, practice that ability, and become better at it. Telepathy is one of them. Clairvoyance is another one of them. Holistic health is another one of them. I mean, we can go down the list. I'm not even trying to like big myself up. I'm more so just trying to help everybody understand how I come to a place of having these gifts. It's not necessarily that I just woke up and they was there and I got lucky. No, I asked for strength, like the sister said. And when I ask for strength, well, that comes with a tree that you got to kick down. And by the end of kicking that tree down, you know, your shin's going to be bloody, but you're going to have strength.
You cooking. And if I can share with our brother, that gift that he's naming, according to those who know about the Ansar community, they have shown and proven scientifically those gifts are inside of all of us. Okay? And we just have went to sleep on using our different gifts. With that, I say peace. He cooking.
Indeed.
That's a fact, brother. I'm glad you brought that to the table, because that's what it really is. It's in all of us. Every single one of us got all of it. Just like when we look at the dial plate and we start going through all of the different virtues, all of the different signs, every one of us got it all inside of us. Yes, your sun sign might be Sagittarius, and your sun sign might be Libra, and your sun sign might be Cancer. But every single one of us got it all inside of us. Every single one of us got that good European education inside of us. Every one of us got that good African education inside of us. But we get to choose every day what we're going to do.
So Islam, are you going to read from the Holy Quran tonight, my brother? Or are you going to read a chapter of the Holy Quran?
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Let them cook. Let them cook, brother JaVale. Let's go ahead
and get started. Since we're gonna do some reading, I'm gonna start with chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. Time never was when man was not. In life, if life of a man at any time began, a time would come when it would end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things, and they will change. Yeah. From the finite point of view, the time will come when they will be no more. But man himself is not the body, nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah.
Teach.
Creative fate gave to man, to spirit man, a soul that he might function on the plane of soul, gave him a body of the flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why did creative fate give to spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative fate give to soul a body of the flesh that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? Hear now, ye worlds, dominions, powers, and thrones. Hear now, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels and ye men. Hear now, O protoplas, and earth, and plant and beast. Hear now, ye creeping things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, ye winds that blow, ye thunders and ye lightnings of the sky. Hear now, ye spirits of the fire, of water, earth, and air. Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be. For wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life. Man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. For things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that held within itself the potencies of Allah, just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of God. Now, seed are perfect, yeah, as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed, must be deep planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was full ordained to be Lord of plane of soul, and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark, now, let every creature hear. The plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane vibrating not so fast. And in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essences of life are manifest. The perfumes and the odors, the true sensations, and the all of love are manifest.
Wow.
And these soul attributes become a body beautiful. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower still, and then the essences took on a final garb. The perfumes and the odors and the true sensations and the all of love were clothed in flesh, and man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life, and so a carnal nature was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the planes, all the plane of manifest, of protoplas, of mineral, of plant, of beast, but he gave up his birthrights just to gratify his lower self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations manifold. But let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the solar stars, are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffers on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his garb of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will fall, will be no more. Then he will stand untrammeled on the plane of soul, where he must complete his victories. Unnumbered foes will stand before man upon the plane of soul. These he must overcome, yet overcome them every one. Thus hope will ever be his beacon light. There is no failure for the human soul, for Allah is leading on and victory is sure. Man cannot die. The spirit man is one with Allah. And while Allah lives, man cannot die. When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the seed will have full opened out, will have unfolded in the holy breath. The garb of soul will then have served its purpose well, and man will need it nevermore, and it will pass and be no more, and man will then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness, and be at one with Allah.
Islam, gratitude, brother. Gratitude for your message. Allah.
Came in true. I'm leaving in the same.
Islam. Peace and love. Islam, Mom, not the holy day I call upon out now. I call it my repentance today. Islam. Not the holy day.
Islam, Morris, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest.
Allah's the greatest.
That's right. Islam, Morris, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. That's right. Praise Allah. Islam, Morris, who's the greatest? Allah is the greatest. And Noble Drew Ali is his prophet. Islam.
Absolutely. I give praise to the author, the creator, the governor of all the worlds, who is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. Allah be his most sweet and holy name. I give honor to the angel of Allah, the man who was sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah, the man who did come and did redeem man from the sinful and fallen stages of humanity back to the highest planes of life with his Father God Allah. He is our leader, our teacher, and our brother man, the illustrious holy prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to the forerunner of the prophet Noble Drew Ali, the man who was to the prophet Noble Drew Ali in this era of time as John the Baptist was to the prophet Jesus in the days of old, Brother Marcus Mosiah God. I give honor to all the holy and the divine prophets of Allah, because all the holy and the divine prophets of Allah taught Islam. I give a special honor to the American flag, the flag of our birth, and the Moorish flag, the flag of our descent. These two flags together, they represent us, the clean and pure nation of Moorish Americans. I give honor to our charter, which gives us the right to promote and practice the teachings of all true holy and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I give honor to all the past and the present true leaders to this Moorish Science Temple of America. I give honor to our leaders here in Temple Number 2, to our Grand Governor, the Sheikh Arnil Bey, to the Grand Governor, the Sheikh is K. Glover Hill, to the Grand Sheikh of Temple Number 2, Brother E. Rice Bey, and to all their official staff. I give a special honor to all the true and the faithful members of this Moorish Science Temple of America, because the members make up this divine body. All right?
That's right.
I cannot emphasize enough to the Moors out there in the world who are looking for help. You do not have to find a place, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a place. It's not made out of bricks. It's not made out of concrete. It's not made out of wood. It's made out of clean and pure people. The Quran says when the temple is made out of those who thus are cleansed. All right? So those who have been through the cleansing rite of proclamation, the cleansing purging of ridding yourself of the foreign influences, those influences that perpetuate Negroism in our community. All right? We all know what Negroism look like. Negroism is that self-hate. That's what got our young people out there right now committing domestic violence against one another. I say domestic violence because Allah is the father of the universe, which means that all living things are family. We are all brothers and sisters. So when they are out there and they committing them acts of violence against each other, that's domestic violence. All right? We need to be teaching that and preaching that and making ones understand so that they can know that. Because when we know this, then we will be embracing each other. Because the Quran teaches us that it's in our best interest to be friendly to mankind, because it's in our best interest that mankind will be friendly to us. All right? And the reason why, for the most part, we got so many people out here, so many Asiatics, they are afraid to be friendly. They want to be friendly, but they are afraid to be friendly. And this causes a whole new conflict within that they should not even have to face. You shouldn't have to fear to be nice to your brother man and to your sister woman. You shouldn't have to fear that. But the fear is necessary because the way we treat one another. Me and the Grand Governors was having this discussion just earlier. The Prophet Noble Jumali, he ordered us. He said, if your brother asks you for something, you give it to him so that he don't hurt himself. But if the Prophet Noble Jumali was here right now, we have to talk about that. Because these Moors out here, they are embezzling the faith of the members. They are embezzling it. They know that, hey, man, they can call Leo Bay. They can call Caleb Hill. They can call any of these true and faithful Moors, and they can lay these problems that they manifested in their mind. They imagine these problems to create so that they go out and get some drugs that they can use, or so they can go out and commit some other type of action that's just not unbecoming. It's unbecoming to Muslims. It's unbecoming.
Come on,
So it's a necessity for us to guard ourselves against this type of behavior, because we done adopted all of these foreign habits. These doggone treacherous doggone Europeans that subjugated and conquered our people. But you know what? Now I say that, while at the same time I'm going to remind the Moors that the Prophet Noble Jumali say all people have suffered slavery because they honor not the creed and principles of their forefathers. So even though the individuals is getting out on us today, they only getting out on us because of the way we treat one another. Because if we was unified and if we was doing what Allah has commanded us to do through his prophets.
Listen, Moors. Listen, Moors.
We only want to honor our prophet. We call him our prophet. Even though in the questionnaire, he reminds us that he is Allah's prophet. You understand me? He reminds us that Jesus was a prophet of Allah, that the Prophet Muhammad was a prophet of Allah.
He touched on some toes.
Came about order of God, but we want to divide him. We want to take ownership of it. We trying to take God's property now. You know? He said that it is selfishness that makes one wish to call to earth again departed souls. We want to take the souls and the spirits that God has sent down by his command. We want to take ownership of them. You see? And then all the time while we taking this ownership, we lacking in doing what we hear and the things that we supposed to be taking care of our things. We just irresponsible. We just irresponsible. That's the best way to put it. The Moors have gotten lazy and irresponsible. And now we suffering the consequences of that, you know. But guess what, though? The brother just read. Allah is leading on and victory is sure. It is a custom in the Moor Science Temple of America, whenever teaching a group of Moors, wayfarers, sympathizers, and just plain seekers after the truth, they want to take a reading from this Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. And I'm going to be taking my reading from the chapter, The Soul of Man. I want to read the last sentence in instruction number 14. All right? So it says, learn that the advantage lieth not in the possession of good things, but in the knowing to use them. Knowing to use them, knowing to use it. See, this instruction right here, it really speaks to the ignorance of the people. When you have all of these good things, remember, good is how you got all of these powerful things, but you don't even know to use it. You understand me? We have so much, wasted what God has given us, and him giving us a heart and a mind, and him giving us each other. We waste that. Do you know how valuable friendship is? Do you know how valuable family is? Do you know how valuable bonds are? Even the monkeys knew it on the movie when they said that apes together are strong. Why the Moors can't recognize that Moors together are strong? But when we stand divided and we try to break ourselves down into these individual units, that's not nationhood. That's not what the Prophet Noble Jumali came to teach us.
Listen.
He was leading us. This is why the Prophet Noble Jumali said that I'm going to take you all the way up to salvation, but some of you not going to get in because you're not marching and counter-marching with the rest of the soldiers. Because if you was marching and counter-marching with the rest of the soldiers, then we will all be going to the same place. But it's going to be individuals who are going to say, they're going to look back, and just like Lot's wife, they're going to be turned into pillars of salt. Because they are trying to preserve this Ethiopian degree.
Islam.
This division that is an illusion. It's not even real. The Prophet Noble Ali told us that the reason why we fail in business is because we don't support one another. How in the world can
Make
the
it plain,
Moors
make
not
it
be
plain.
successful in business when the Moors, the Asiatics in the United States of America are the largest consumers on the planet? So how can we not be successful in business? If we would just spend our money with one another, then we would be successful. Without a doubt or a contradiction. Because the money would not leave our community. That money would be invested back into us, into our children, into our posterity. Here it is, we are the posterity of the Prophet Noble Ali and those who walk with the Prophet Noble Ali, and we have squandered all of their work. We squandered it. They left us with all of this wealth, like the sister said. Think about the holy unity of the rich and the poor. He said to the one whom Allah had given riches and blessed with a man to employ them aright. Called this person peculiarly favored and highly distinguished. You dang all right. He peculiarly favored and highly distinguished, especially nowadays, because we can't wait to spend the money. Before we even get the money is already spent. And we're going to make sure that we spend the money with individuals who are going to make sure we never see that money again. That's foolish. So, of course, the individual who's smarter than that is highly favored and peculiarly distinguished away from this decrepit thing that we call a nation of people today. All right? You talking about tombstones. The Prophet Noble Ali kicked over the tombstones in Negro, black, and color. We built some more tombstones. We got all types of tombstones now that need to be kicked over. We need to kick over the tombstones of these gang-isms that got our young people out here shooting and murdering one another.
Come on, come on.
That energy is honorable, but the way that it's directed, man, this is the worst type of sin. The worst type of sin is when you waste. You waste the youth. You waste the youth. For those of us who have lived for decades on this planet, and we wish that we could be 20 again, to be 15 again. What, a 20-year-old me?
Come on now.
A 20-year-old
Come on
me?
now. Come
Man,
on.
what would the world do if they had to face a 20-year-old me? What would the world do if they had to face a legion of 20-year-old me? What would they do? They would not stand a chance. They in trouble now, and I'm about to be 44 Sunday. But when I was 20 years old, the ignorance and the type of physical and mental condition I was in, I am literally healthier today than I was 20 years ago. Because I had to learn to care for myself. I had to learn to stop smoking. I had to learn to stop drinking. I had to learn to stop thinking filthy thoughts. More than the smoking and drinking, it was the thinking that hurt me. It was the thinking.
Come on,
that
come
brought
on,
so
come
much
on.
pain.
Y'all
When I
better
was in the
listen.
prison cells, man, the Moors don't know. Man, Phoenix and Bay had partial heart attacks and all type of stuff. All type of stuff. Because I was so mentally ill that it just infected my body, and I was just infested with all types of sicknesses that I couldn't define, and the doctors didn't even know what was wrong. I go to the doctor today, they say I had high blood pressure. I go back, I don't got high blood pressure no more, but I got iron deficiency. All type, it was so much confusion because mentally I was confused. Come on, and brother. I did it now. And the Prophet Noble Ali brought to us. I learned to think, and I learned to think myself out of that physical bad form. So when the brother talked about being able to control thoughts, see, the Quran teaches us. He said that angel men and other thinking things direct the force. See, anybody who study more science, for real, they know that this is what we can do. And when you learn that this is what we can do, you don't want to do nothing more than to be able to perfect this talent. Because you know that it brings life. You know, this is what's going to save you. It's going to save your children. It's going to save your mama and your dad from suffering in the grave and watching you just waste it. But when I joined the Moorish Science Temple of America, the first vow I made to myself, I said, I'm going to make my mama proud. I declared it.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on
Even though I
now.
was fixing to get ready to spend 20 years in prison, that I had done things in my life that I can't tell nobody. Not because I'm ashamed of them, but I got a job to do, and I cannot prejudice the mind of the public against me because it will stop me from being able to do my job.
That's right.
But yet and still, knowing this about myself, because knowledge is, he say that understanding is the rock on which man builds himself. It is the gnosis of the and of the know, the knowledge of the lower self, the sensing of the powers of man himself. So I know myself. I know what I did. And I still said I'm going to make my mama proud. Because the Quran taught me that it was possible. Taught me that I can change my mind because my mind is mine. It belongs to me. So everybody who think that they cannot change their mind. See, some of y'all so hard-headed and stiff-necked that even when you recognize the truth, even when you see the light, you so hard-headed and stiff-necked, you don't want to walk in the light. You don't want to become one with the truth because you love the dark. You love the dark because the dark, it allows for you to be lazy. It allows for you to be irresponsible. It allows for you to not have to face the things that will truly make you the strength of Allah made manifest. See, you ain't gonna be the strength of Allah made manifest picking up them little scrawny weights. You gotta pick up some great big burdens. Some great big burdens. Burdens bigger than just the burdens that belong to you. See, when that one came to the prophet Jesus and he said that he wanted eternal life, see, Jesus knew you don't really want that because you don't want to pay the cost. So he told him, go ahead and keep the 10 Commandments, but he insisted on number. So the prophet Jesus told him, you go sell everything that you own and you come walk with me. You see? Because I'm carrying more than just my burden. I'm carrying the burdens of the whole entire world. Now come on, lift that. He couldn't do that. He couldn't do it and he knew he couldn't do it. So he was honest enough to turn around and walk away. But see, we dealing with ones right now who are not honest enough to turn around and walk away. They want to get in the way. They want to make our job even harder than they got it. You understand me? But we powerful. We strong. We way stronger than y'all jokers could ever imagine. Because your mind is finite.
Allahu Akbar.
And the Quran says that no finite mind can comprehend things infinite.
That's right.
But we know what the truth is about man, even though it ain't but a few who know what the truth is about man. We know what the truth is about man. We know that man has a higher self. We know that man has a lower self. We know the possibilities of man are endless. So we don't try to stop and map them all out. We comprehend what we're dealing with and we get the job done. And we don't give a freak how hard it is. Because we were told before we got here that it was ordained that we shall be here. And we will be in a sacred road where we will be taught. And when we come up out of that sacred road, we're going to be prepared to guide the nation. We're going to be prepared to guide the nation, Moors. Islam. Happy holy day. I give honor to all the true and the faithful members of this Moorish Science Temple of America, because today, in this era of time that we live in, it's not easy to be true and faithful.
That's true.
That's right, brother. That's right.
I respect your walk, Moors. I respect your walk.
Islam, praise Allah. That's right.
I love you, love you too, brother.
We love you too.
With all my heart. Man, it feels good to be here. It feels good. Definitely. It feels good. Peace and love, Moorish Americans.
Praise Allah. Islam. Peace and love.
Praise Allah.
Allah is the greatest indeed. Y'all heard it.
Praise Allah for that, man. Islam.